Resource Planner. How to access it? I went to the Resource Planning tab, obviously. We are using data from resource planning, especially resource and resource groups, and also from the jobs and the service orders. First of all, to open PlannerOne, I will open it from here, and I have here two plannings, one for my Europe projects and resources, and one for my North America's projects. Let's open the European one. I don't think I have one of them in Germany, but anyway. I had many of them. See? Let's close them all, the one I don't need. Okay, so first of all, I have a little bit more views than the production scheduler one. Here I will have 6 standard views. First one would be my job planner view. This is my dashboard with all of my jobs and all of my service orders. So for one job, like this, this is one service order, my new tart baking, I know how long I will have until the due date. So this is going to be finished. This has to finish in 20 days. This is a service for the Canon Group PLC. And here I have something different. 66% of it has been planned. And I still have 33% of it to be done. What is it exactly? So 66 of it has been planned. It means that when I click on here and I open it in a resource Gantt chart, we call it resource Gantt chart because I have here the name of my resource. I see the beginning and the end of my service. This is a service with, can I unzoom? Yeah. This is a service running on the 2nd of May, or maybe it's the 5th of February. No, this is the 5th of February. I never know in which order I am, depending on America or UK thing. So 5th of February, from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m., I have one activity which is booked for this service order. But I told you it's not completely planned. Let's have a look at what is happening on that service order. So I will open it in a NAV and show you the difference that we have in a NAV. Okay, correct. So this is a service order, my new tart baking. I see that I have my service item number. This is service item number 5. And let's check what I have in terms of service lines. Okay, I have one service line which is on me, so I will have to make this tart, bad me. And this is going to last 6 hours. Okay, what you see in the planning there is that my activity lasts only 4 hours. This is why I didn't plan everything yet. I planned 4 hours on the 6 I prepared to have, so I planned 2/3 of it. I still have one part to be done. Why don't I have everything? I decided that I would start on making my 4 hours today, and maybe I plan to let it rest for a time and to restart it a little bit after, maybe the day after. Okay, this is Friday, so the day after would be Monday. Monday with now here. So maybe here I could plan the 2 next hours that are missing for this specific service order. I have 2 options to create the missing time on this service order. Or I go to the job planner view and I click on create activities, and it will just fill in with the 2 hours and put it at the date I had on my service order line. Or I say I want to do that manually and to decide where I need it. So let's say I will plan it on Monday, so I will open that and say this is my service order. What was it? Okay, let's go back there. This is service order number 32. So I just double click somewhere, say this is service order 32. Yep. Then that would be my service line, item line number 10,000. And this is going to be the planning on my line, my service order line. And I want to use myself. Oh no, this was on Linda, so now I want to use myself. And this will last 2 hours. What you see, we have the starting date, 8th of February. We start at 8 a.m. I plan 2 hours. And this is my end date, which is automatically recalculated. So, or calculated by the way. So here I calculated that it will end at 10 a.m. Here I can check what I already had in the planning. I already had 4 hours on the 6 I plan to have in my service line. So this is going to be fully done with the 2 more hours I add here. Let's click on OK and check the new activity I created. Now on this service order, I have 2 people working, Linda, which is starting on the Friday, and then me. If I go there on my job planning line, I check that I have 6 on 6 hours, so this is nice. I plan everything. And if I go back on my job planner view, wait for it to be refreshed, yeah, and then it's not anymore on the not completely planned section, it's in the completely planned one. And I check that I planned everything. This is a good start. Now, what if I completed the first activity? What if Linda finished her work and she wants to say it? She has 2 options. She would maybe go in the service line and say, I finished all the service line, but that would be wrong because she didn't actually finished all the service line. She just finished the 4 first hours on the service line. So maybe the best would be to go there and to say, I completed it. When you say that, you see the hatch lines are appearing there, and I see that I did 2/3 of it. When I go back to the job planner view, and I check my project, my service order here, I check that I have 66% of it which has been completed. Okay, this is quite interesting. I still have 1/3 of it to be made, and this is good. Sometimes on other service orders or other projects, I see that I have a red part. Red is exceeding budget. This is when I plan more time than what I should on one project. Let's stay on my example. What if instead of planning 2 hours, I said this is now going to be 3 hours. So of course it will finish at 11 a.m. I click on OK, it's a little bit wider. And now if I go to the job planner view, I am exceeding the budget from 1 hour, which is here 16% of what was planned originally. So this is a checker of what has been planned, what is exceeding the budget, etc. Now, what other example could I do? Let's say that I'm sick today and I want to close the time. So I can do that from the close button here and say this is Camille getting sick on the 8th of not July, February, from the 8th to the, that could be 8 a.m. Again. To the 10th of February, 12 a.m. This is getting sick. I can add it. And again, I can't see the result. Come on. I'm just pressing F5 to see if it could refresh faster, or if I have everything working here. All right, here I have it, my sick period of time. First of all, I see that I have something red on my activity, and I have a load alert. My resource is no more available at that time, so there is no capacity to make it. How can I react to that? First of all, I could maybe postpone it. If I want to postpone it, I would say this will wait for the next period of time I would be available, which is going to be here, 6:30 a.m. on the next, Wednesday, 10th of February. I don't want to do that. I will try to put back here. Yeah, now it's recalculated. It won't go there. So I will put it on Linda and say this was planned here. And I want to reallocate it to someone else, not Linda because she's not able to make it, but I want to reassign it to someone else. Maybe I could click here, assign resource, and show you this new functionality that we have. Yep. And how it works. So this is opened, and there are 2 parts. The left part is a table where I see my resources that correspond to the service line I created, or to the activity I had. The right part is a map with the customer here and the different resources that I have. On the left, you see that I have the codes, the names, the groups, engineers, technicians, okay? The service zone. So here I have service zone M. Service zone M is because my customer in standard Navy is in service zone M. If I remove it, I will check that I will have more people available. Then I have the skills. Let's check it after. And then I have capacity and more things. Okay. So let's say, first of all, I will show all resources. This is better. So I have some of them in the UK. I have one of them. I will just zoom out. It's still thinking of all the changes I did. Okay. So I have some of them in Austria. I have some of them in Lyon. Others in the UK. And this is my where my customer is. Okay, good. What if I know for this specific activity I need someone who is a mechanic? So this would be my first filter, and then I could say, all right, I need someone which is in the service zone N. I have only 2 people, and they are both in, let's check, it's refreshing the map. I have one Mark which is in the UK, and Mira which is in France, in Lyon. What if I wanted someone which would be available at least the 3 hours? This is the duration of my activity. Remember, 3 hours. So I need someone which is available the 3 hours. I have only Mark, so maybe the best here would be to allocate it to Mark. By the way, I could also filter on the skills. I could say I need someone who knows electricity and who knows also, yeah, you can combine the things, who knows also French. In that situation, I have only Mira. So depending on what is more important to me, I can put the filters or remove them. Here I said that the distance plus the remaining capacity are more important for me. But the distance, I can check that this one, which is Mark, is 157 kilometers away from the customer. The other one is 1,136 kilometers away. So this is a lot more. This is why I would select Mark. I click on Mark, I see the path he has to do to go to the customer, like this, and I can assign a resource. When I assign it, it is added automatically to Mark right here. So this is the functionality I told you about, the geographic location and the skills management. This is really well appreciated by the customers, especially if they are doing customer service, you know, after installation, after sales service. This is greatly appreciated. To go back from the beginning here, so you have the overview, you have the resource Gantt chart, which works a little bit the same as what we've seen here. Okay, I can see everything I have to do. Ooh, people are not working. Let's go back to the start of the planning to see, okay, here are my activities. Back in 2015, I didn't plan for 1 year. So here I have all of my activities and I can do all actions as I've shown you. Then I have the job Gantt chart. Some of them are for services, some of them are for jobs. The only difference for me here would be with the number or here. Let's say here you have only jobs, and on that view you can see clearly how they work. Like if I open my Gifford project, this is not the best one. Let's open the lighting project and select that. Lighting project, I can see when it starts, like here, and I can see the rest. What you have here, you can add links between different job planning lines. And this is what is important. Inside one job task, for instance, the data quality job task, which has number 1004, I see that I have 2 operations that have to end together, and 2 of them, or 2 activities, that have to start together. And then next job task will start only after those one, and the last one will start only after this one. There is a control on what is happening, meaning if this one I postpone it later to that one, this one will be postponed also. On the same view, if I go down, I see my service orders. Those are service orders. Okay, they are exactly the same for PlannerOne. This is still one activity. By the way, one activity is one new entity created by PlannerOne. Everything goes from an NAV to PlannerOne, but then the return from PlannerOne to an NAV is a little bit more complicated. So in the example we had here, remember I had 2 different activities, but for only one service line. This is more or less complicated to make it come back from PlannerOne to an NAV. So what happens is that we update by default in standard PlannerOne, we update the service allocation table for the jobs. So this is on the service side. on the job side, the job planning line table is not updated. But everything goes on a table called PlannerOne Activity Table, which is a new NAV table or a new table in the development environment. And you could use this new table to link the activities to the job planning lines by checking Linda's line. So filter on her, like this is Linda.
Yeah.
When I can't find her, okay, my engineer Linda. All right. So this is going to be one project. I see this is one job, London. This is my Guildford project. This is my painting project. If I highlight, I can see it. Here she has two things, two projects. Okay, I would just have to check manually like this when she is working on service orders or projects. Then she has nothing to do. I think I didn't plan later on. But a service order would just be maybe this one. No. A service order would be the same with just SO. What you could do to get the overview of all service orders and all projects activities would be to put a global filter on the activities. I could say, I put an advanced filter and I would get all of my job codes equal to SO something. I think it will work. I would have to say like SO something. This is something I never tried yet. No, I would have to try to check what would be if it's a star or whatever. FO star. I'm not sure it will work. Yeah, this works. So 31 of them are service orders, and they are in color like this, and I can put a focus. So I know that all of those people are working for service orders, and I can check when. All right, it's a little bit small, just because you have some of them in January 2015, and some of them in January 2016. To deal with that situation, we have an option which is called Enlarge Activities. Okay, this way I see more what I have in the planning. All of those are service orders. What I didn't tell you about Resource Planner, the Job Gantt chart view, we've seen it. The resource sequence, this is the to-do list, you start to know it. So this is the list of everything George Clooney has to do. Same way, here I can see it works only on projects. Maybe I could have one resource working on a service order. I don't have that many of them working on service orders. Okay, I can't find one. This is strange. Okay, Cindy is working on the service order number 3, and then on service order number 12, etc. One of my favorite view would be the calendar view. This is the one that will allow me to, same thing, but in calendar view. This is the one that you can synchronize with Outlook really quickly. This is just an iCalendar link that you send to Outlook. So it's going to be a one-way synchronization. I am just able to read it from my standard calendar. So if I want to read Linda's calendar, that would be here. So December 2015, yep, sorry, wrong manipulation. I would have to go back to January. So this is Linda's calendar. Let's have a look at Linda's calendar there. Okay, I have things planned on the 13th and 14th of January. If I go there, yes, I have them 13 and 14. I can't change it from here, usually. This is a strange thing. I'm not supposed to be able to change it from here. And when I make a change in Resource Planner there, it should update my calendar on the other side. So if I switch it from 14 to 15, right here, and I check in my calendar, I just refresh it, refresh the view from internet. Yep, wait for it. Ew, there is something wrong with my receipt. I would check if I'm well connected to it, but it's supposed to be changed automatically. Always in life you have troubles like this. Yeah, so this is the view, the last view we have. Okay, so to sum up a little bit on the Resource Planner, the main functionalities are the fact that you can have the overview of the projects and the service orders here, that you can create automatically activities or manually in case you want to subdivide one job planning line, or one service line. You can do that thanks to the new entity called activities. You check if you plan too much, if you completed a part or not. Then you also have the geographic allocation, the geographic positioning of each resource, the use of their skills, their availability. So in terms of determining which resource is the best for each job, we have everything. We provide a really advanced functionality. Then on the load chart, which is here, you can also have an idea of the invoicing prices that you can get just by adding, instead of capacity, I can add the price. When I have the price here, I can know how much each resource is going to invoice per week, per month, or whatever. So this is Nicholas Hudson invoicing 270 euros on week 1 of 2015. Can get it per groups of resources or for all of my resources, just adding my grand total like this. So this is another advanced thing we have. Then you also have the possibility to export it, to Outlook, and the possibility to deal with all of your activities, drag and dropping them, postponing, changing the resource, etc. Okay, here there is no, on the resource planner side, there is no optimization engine. So the only way of making a change or something would be by drag and dropping. So you can drag and drop, but remember, with all the links we have, if you drag and drop one activity which is for job planning line number 2, it will potentially postpone also my activities for job planning line number 3, 4, 5, etc. If I have no margin between my different job planning lines, it will postpone everything. To put something on a break, you could maybe use the standby resource. Standby resource that we have here is, when I use it, this is where I put all of my non-planned activities. Like, I know this is going to be a project, and in my job planning line, I allocated it to a standard engineer. This is something I do when I don't know yet who will be making it. And thanks to my assign resource functionality, or just graphically, I will check who from my 3 engineers can be doing that. Oh no, this one is the standard one. Who, depending on my 2 engineers, could be doing that. So that could be here or here. Okay, like here, and that's all. You would just have to say, like, this one will be then, and I have 2 things at the same time. You see here it's infinite capacity in the resource planner. You can have 2 things planned at the same time. This is the same as Outlook. You can have 2 things planned at the same time. When you have 2 of them, you could say, okay, this one will come after. And this would be a way, okay, I stop this one, which was supposed to be there. Yeah. I do the other one before, and then I put this one after. So you can just do whatever you need with the order of your operations, of your activities, sorry. There is a good thing with this. Resource Planner has been prepared for that. So actually, Resource Planner is going to read some intermediary tables. So it's not going to read directly jobs and service tables. It's going to read new tables. And we explain you also how to develop a new synchronizer to put all the tables in to be read by Resource Planner. Not for Production Scheduler, only for Resource Planner. Okay, thank you very much. And I hope you enjoyed it.